football. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so Tszyu, he's kind of been left in the dark by Jermell Charlo as Jermell signed that fight to go all the way from 154 to 160 to challenge Canelo Alvarez in a one-off undisputed versus undisputed match. And rightfully so, I feel like Jermell and Canelo are getting some heat from boxing fans because I definitely see where people are coming from. Why isn't Canelo fighting Benavidez? Why isn't Charlo fighting Tszyu? I get all that. But at the same time, I also understand that this is a fight game. It's prize fighting, and money talks and bullshit walks. And ultimately, Charlo did what was best for him, monetarily speaking. And if Tszyu was in the same position, he would have done the same thing. Now, with that being said and with that being established here on True School Sports, Tszyu was speaking about this whole situation with, Charlo leaving him in the dark and not fighting him for the belts. And it's gotten to the point where Tszyu's so frustrated. He's so pissed off for greatness. He's so pissed off at the whole situation. He said that nothing's off limits. He said not even Canelo's off limits. And he stated that Canelo's on his hit list. So here's what Tszyu said in regards to Canelo and the whole situation with Charlo. He stated the following, and I quote, "I'm even angry at Canelo. He's taking what I wanted, so he's part of that hit list now as well. I'm going to be like John Wick. Call me John Wick from now on. Wherever the big fights are, I got maybe 3 or 4 fights at 154. Whatever gets the most attention, then move up. So we'll see how long I stay in this division. At the end of the day, it's about creating highlight reels that live on throughout eternity. Make a decent amount of money and make friends and family around you proud. When I first came into this sport, it was belts, this and that, but my mentality has changed. Belts won't define me. What will define me is the highlights, the legacy that I keep making. And while belts are part of that, I'll fight Charlo for no belts. I don't care. Belts are just a nice little price to have." So, end quote. Tszyu, I think, has now reached that stage of his career that I think every fighter gets. I think not even just fighters. I think even like someone like myself who covers the sport, when you spend enough time in it and you get to a certain level, you get to a stage where it's like, okay, you come in with the intentions of, okay, you want what's best for the sport, and you always want what's best for the sport, and you always want the glory, and you always want what's best for the pureness of boxing. But then you get a reality check somewhere along the way that this is a business, probably more than any other sport before it is a sport. You know what I'm saying? So now it's to the point where it's like the belts aren't a priority to Tszyu. And as he eloquently stated in the quotes, it's about the moments. And I've stated this many times over the years. Belts are great, and they do help a fighter's accomplishments, but when the gloves are hung up, and a fighter's career is done, within a couple years, if even less time, unless you're like a boxing savant or nerd or analyst or someone like myself who covers this day to day, you're not gonna remember what titles every fighter, a fighter won at every weight class he participated in. But what you will remember are ultimately the moments they leave, the moments which have contributed to the legacy they leave in the sport. And Tim now, I think, fully understands that. And he's still saying, look, like Canelo's on my hit list. He wants all the smoke with Canelo, which everybody in boxing wants to smoke with Canelo because it comes with a lot of money and a lot of great things with it, right? Especially if you win, unless you're Bivol. He stated that with Canelo, but he's also stated, you know what? He still wants to fight Charlo for no belt. I think now for Tim, it's become personal. It's become bigger than belts because you gotta look at this from Tim's vantage point. Charlo became the undisputed champion last May, and then somewhere around like June or July, they scheduled the fight with Tszyu to happen in January of this year. So you're talking about they scheduled the fight like 7 months in advance. You don't normally see that in boxing, so that was always funny. Then they rescheduled it. Charlo pulls out again. He continued to promise to fight Tszyu. and then and while they were in negotiations, and I guess they already had, according to Tim, dates lined up and things like that lined up, Charlo signs this ridiculous fight with Canelo. So I get where he's coming from, and it's become personal now. So, you know, I'm sure Charlo won't be able to make 154. It'll probably be a struggle for him and whatnot. But I would like to see him fight at 160. F it. Make the middleweight division great again. Make the middleweight division great again. After, you know, Charlo fights Canelo, win or lose, I'd like to see Tszyu fight Charlo. Because, you know, it's a fight that's, I think, due to all the history they have, due to the way Charlo's ran his mouth, due to the way Tszyu's ran his mouth, due to the fight falling out so many times, and due to the fact that they're both, I think, a great stylistic match with each other, and that Tszyu has gotten so much experience and grown from, like, the Tony Harrison fight, Ocampo, all these different kind of fights he's had in the intermediate period. I feel like this is slowly but surely becoming one of the better rivalry fights in boxing. And mind you, we don't got a whole lot of those in boxing. There's big fights, but there's not a whole lot of rivalry fights, meaning that there's a backstory, there's history, maybe it's a little personal. And I think, you know, you can put this one up there with the great potential rivalry fights in boxing with, like, Canelo Benavidez, Tszyu, Charlo, you know, Sonny Edwards, Bam, I think could probably fall in there as well. Amongst many others, you know, but I think it's up there. So, yeah, that's the news. Tszyu pissed off at the fact that Charlo left him in the dark, says that Canelo's on his hit list, and he will fight Jermell Charlo for no belt. It's not even about the belts no more. It's about the man. The man is a title. And to get Charlo's name on his resume for him right now, I think it means all the world to him. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think, man. What do you guys think about Tszyu saying that Canelo's on his hit list and saying that he will fight Charlo for no belts? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable Tszyu Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.